This is Colin McGuigan for IFLTV. Delighted to be joined by Andy Lee. Do you know what? I actually need you to do that accent on camera because you're the only one that can do it.
This is Colin McGuigan for IFLTV. Andy, what about you?
That strong Limerick brogue came through there at the end. Lost it at the end. Andy, obviously, we're here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in Riyadh for a massive fight week in Better BF. Just first of all, break down that fight for me and tell me how you think this is going to go.
My prediction keeps changing. It's such a close contest. Clash of styles, an aggressive Beterbiev and classic boxer and Bivol. I think both men will take the centre of the ring or try to hold the centre as much as possible, with Biev pushing the action, trying to force Bivol back. I think Bivol will try to stay in range, but as he does, take the distance away when Beterbiev attacks and then counter-attack. I think feints are going to be hugely important in the fight. And almost, it sounds funny, but the one who doesn't punch first might have the most success, because whoever punches first will leave themselves open to counter punch. It's also like a chess match, so you give a little punch to make your opponent react, and then you react to he's punching, and you react to that punch. So there's going to be a lot in it in the fight. It's going to be a high standard of boxing, a lot of skill, a lot of tension. I'm slightly leaning towards Beterbiev now, and I think he might win the fight by KO late. Bivol's a great fighter and has shown that he can do it for 12 rounds many times, but I don't know if he can do it with this type of pressure. And if he can punch like the people have all said he can punch Beterbiev, then it's a big task for Bivol. So I'm just leaning slightly towards Beterbiev.
A lot of pundits and people around the game are maybe saying that whoever establishes the jab early in this fight can kind of control the pace and then ultimately win the fight. Do you believe that's the case? And do you think maybe that Artur Beterbiev's jab is underrated? Because a lot of people only speak about the power element.
It's not as simple as just throw your jab. You're going to have to vary your jab in terms of the power and the pace you throw it at. Sometimes you can throw the jab just like to make your opponent attack, or sometimes you can throw the jab to really do damage. And they both have good jabs. They both have very good jabs. Bivol has an excellent jab, but sometimes he'll jab and bring it back to his waist, and that will leave an opening for Beterbiev. So I don't think it's just as simple as the jab. I think there's a lot in this fight, and it's going to be, both of them are have a great education in boxing, both with top amateurs, coming from that Russian system of boxing. So there's a lot of chess moves. Both of them have a lot of moves that they can do, and approaches they can do in this fight.
I want to ask you a question about the rest of the undercard. If there was a fight that you were picking on this undercard that you believe there could be an upset, which fight would you pick?
Just for the upset, because there's no real upset in Wardley and Clark. Whoever wins that will earn it, and the first fight was close. I don't see Eubank getting upset. Says Meta is solid guy, but lost to Golovkin, lost to Munguia, and he's just below. I think he's just below world level, but he's a good, solid European opponent. Massey, it's a big task for Massey, but Massey's got grade. He's tough, and I think he'll show a lot. I think of the British boxers who have fought Abataya so far, I think Massey give the best account so far from a British point of view. He could probably go the distance, Massey, because he's tough and he's not bad. He can fight. He can box a bit too. And Joe Gallagher is a clever coach and will have a good plan for him. So I think Massey could hang in there. I don't think it's a big ask if he can upset Abataya, but I think he can hang in there. Who else have we got? Chapman has got a chance, possibly. She has to be clever, though. She has to be clever. Sky is so tall and rangy and boxes well on the back foot, southpaw as well. But Chapman is athletic, has a very good strong right hand and can bounce in fast. So she has to be clever, Chapman, with her attacks. Just not get frustrated. And not always look to force the action. Pick her moments. If there could be an upset, it could be Chapman. Have I missed anybody? Yeah. In that fight, I think it's a good fight. Wardley and Clark. The first fight was a fantastic fight. I think Wardley's shown he's a bigger puncher in the first fight. And I think if he can compose himself when he hurts Clark this time, he'll do a lot better. When he hurt Clark in the first fight, he just went too wild. Showed he's inexperienced almost. Clark impressed me a lot. Good jab, good basics, good fundamentals, good uppercut inside. That's a really good matchup. I'm looking forward to that one.
I want to ask your opinion on AJ against Daniel Dubois. In your opinion, watching that, what did AJ do wrong? What could he have done differently in your mind that maybe would have changed the outcome of the fight, and maybe even not changed the outcome of the fight, but maybe offered something different?
What could he have done differently? You can only do what you're trained to do, and how you've been training. But you can't ask him to be Pernell Whitaker. You know what I mean? He is who he is, and he fights how he fights. But it was a shootout, and it could have went the other way. One punch could have changed the whole thing. If they do have a rematch, it could be the opposite. It could be the reverse because they're such big punchers, both of them. And it literally is a shootout. It's a roll of the dice, and whoever lands their punch will be victorious. But Dubois is so improved, and so with Don Charles, he's impressed me so much. How unwavering he is, even when he comes under fire, when he gets hit with good shots, he always fires back, and it doesn't seem to affect him. And I don't think AJ's finished at all, and I don't think in heavyweight boxing anyway, because you're paying to watch people knock each other out, and then when you get a knockout, you shouldn't be surprised or upset or say that he's finished because he got knocked out. We're paying to watch these guys knock each other out. That's what heavyweight boxing is about, knockouts. So yeah, it's a good fight, and I'd watch the rematch again.
What's your conversations been like in the aftermath of Tyson's defeat to Oleksandr Usyk? What of those initial conversations, maybe that have taken place a long time ago now between you and Tyson? What were those conversations like, Andy? And can you give us a bit of an insight into your opinion on that one?
Tyson's quite pragmatic about it all, and he's probably right. I know when I lost fights, I couldn't sleep, and maybe he's like that too privately. But to me, he's been saying, Andy, it was a close fight. I got hit with a good punch in round 9, but other than that, I was boxing well. The fight was very close, and it was. I only just rewatched the whole thing there again. And people forget that Tyson couldn't spar. He had a cut up before the fight was rescheduled. He had a cut. There was a 10 million bounty on his head. Do you remember that stuff? If he got cut, if someone pulled out of the fight, they were going to have to pay 10 million. And he couldn't spar. So you're going into the biggest fight of your career with the best opponent, and you haven't had any sparring. So the rematch comes around now in December. He'll be fit, he'll be healthy, he'll have no cuts, he'll be able to spar, and he's going to be improved. Usyk will be improved, but Tyson can improve a lot from the first time.
What does Tyson need to do differently this time around in order to get the victory over Oleksandr Usyk, from your opinion? And obviously you've said you've rewatched it now, you've had the conversations with Tyson. What does he have to do differently this time around, Andy?
it's not for me to tell him because he already knows what he has to do. He's told me what he's going to do. He's going to be heavier. He's going to be more dominant, and because he'll be sparring, he'll be more conditioned. He'll be able to sustain attacks and maintain attacks instead of, which happened towards the back end of the fight. He had to throw his shots, combinations, then look for a break, throw his shots, and then try to, like, he was managing, being economical and managing his energies. But if he's fitter and sharper from his sparring, more conditioned as well from sparring, he's going to be. It's hard to put a number on it, but he could be 40%, 50% better than what we saw in the first fight. So, yeah, rematches are won on adjustments. Small adjustments make big differences, and there's not a whole lot to change because it was so close. But not being able to spar will affect your ability to concentrate for 3 minutes of a round, for 12 rounds. So more conditioning, fitter, I think he needs to be. He knows that himself. And heavier will make a big difference.
Just a quick one before I let you go. Just Joseph Parker, what's next? As well, Paddy Donovan, what's next? What's the plans going forward, Andy, there?
Both of those guys are looking for big fights and ready for big fights. Paddy, we're looking to talk to Eddie Hearn about a deal to fight Crocker early next year. Paddy really wants to fight. It could be finalised as early as next week. We'd like Paddy to have a fight before then, because he's been out of the ring since May. He's still a young fighter. So maybe get one out before the end of the year for Paddy, and then big fight with Crocker next after that. Joseph is ready to fight anybody in the world. He's in Ireland. He's training hard. He's in great shape. And to me, Joseph is up there and as good as any heavyweight in the world, and is ready for any heavyweight in the world. We'll never fight Tyson because that's our cousin and our brother, but he's ready for anyone. And he's ready for the opportunity, just waiting.
Well, Andy Lee, it's always a pleasure. Thank you very much for your time on IFLTV as always, and we'll work on that accent for next time. Appreciate it.
Right, lads. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate it.